in the building.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
Yeah, Trey back on the block once again.
Welcome to the block. DJ Reloaded. What you got for us to talk about today?
Man, that White Element church shooting. Um, I mean, I think that was crazy, right? You saw the if you didn't see the video, you can definitely go on YouTube, check out the live feed cam that took place into the church. But nevertheless, Keith Thomas, 43 years old, went into a church and killed two people before he was gunned down by church security. I applaud the security guards for acting fast. So I mean, only two people was killed, but nevertheless, we lost some lives in that church this past weekend. Um, but my biggest question is security, right?
Mhm.
We've been seeing these shootings happen all over the world, right?
Mhm.
In different cities and different parts of the United States. At what point do security become an issue for places such as malls that we talked about, churches, schools? I mean, do you have any input or any insight as far as how would you make security stricter in those places of business?
What I say is, I think those places are naive to a certain extent. I feel like those places feel like they won't have those type of incidents. So security is more lax. So
Mhm.
if you look at a school, even though we have school shootings, how much security is really at schools? Think about the people that walk in and out of schools and how many people are really getting checked like that. How many people when I go into my kid's school, I open the door, I go in, ain't nobody making sure I ain't got no weapon on me.
Point.
I could still carry, right? But I don't take it in my kid's school because it ain't, I feel I shouldn't. But in these time and days, you should, because you look at the incident of what just happened. If the people didn't take their weapons and well, they not weapons, they didn't take their firearms into that church, then it probably would have been way more devastating. Well, it would have been way more devastating.
Right.
So I just look at, those businesses and those environments they need to stop being so lax and start being a little bit on edge and check people a little bit more than what they're doing, because that's why I feel a lot of these things are getting into those situations, because who check people at church?
Nobody.
Nobody makes sure you don't have a gun under your long coat. They just feel it's cold outside.
Right.
So do y'all feel like people should have more security at their churches now? They should have security at churches
I
just because
think
that's
I think they should have security in all places, right? I mean, you got movie theaters that have been shot up, schools been shot up, churches been shot up several times in the past year. So I think security should be beefed up in all those places of business that large body of people go to. To me, the one that really took the cake for me, that which would have changed the whole landscape of how people enter schools or movie theater, was Sandy Hook. We're
Mhm.
talking about 20 children lost their lives, right? If this country didn't get a wake up call when Sandy Hook happened, it would never get a wake up call, right? I mean, you talking about not this is a white church, so white churches, black churches, multiple churches being shot up in this country, and malls are shootings in malls. Something has to change. You can't get and we talk about gun reform. You can't just
So
get
y'all, do you think the more the violence comes pretty much from people that got beef in the streets and they know your location out, so they come into wherever you at and killing you?
well.
Are they just
We're not talking
Oh,
about that's something completely different. We're talking about like almost like mass murderings plots, right? People are going into like a movie theater, right? Like I hear with the Dark Knight,
right.
um, the mall shooting, that could have been a beef situation.
Mhm.
The church wasn't a beef situation. So no matter what, people are still losing their lives to gun violence. And I just think that at some point, security have to be beefed up a little bit. I mean, because I don't want to go shopping and worry about somebody shooting up a mall and a straight bullet ever hit me or my child. I mean, you know what I
I
mean?
feel like you can't even trust the security neither, because the security guard might know somebody. Like, say I was a security guard and I know y'all got firearms on y'all, and I'd be like, oh, just go ahead. I let y'all in on y'all guns, but everybody else I'm gonna check them. I know y'all got y'all guns on y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all slide just because I know y'all. Like, y'all keep that y'all.
But not just security, but I mean metal detectors, right?
Yeah.
That's an invention that has been in multiple black schools. Metal detectors. People should have to walk through those things when they go into malls, movie
Yeah,
theaters.
I had to go through one, and when I stayed in Michigan for a little bit, they had metal detectors at the door before you even walk into school. They already had them.
And I
They
think,
wait for you to come through that, and you go through that, you good after that. But
I think,
I people went to jail behind that. Just kids coming to school with that stuff on them, they went to jail just because they had those metal detectors.
but it should be like that across the board. I mean, at some point, a high class neighborhood with parents making $1 million, they want their kids to come home safe too. So at the end of the day, we got to get serious. Well, not per se as me, you, and Trey, Kane, but the system, this country has to be for real and serious about gun control, because you're not going to take guns out of houses. That'll start a war. That'd be one thing that everybody would link up and do, right? White, black, brown, right? You have to beef up security so that this white settlement church don't happen again. Sandy Hook doesn't happen again. This man shot somebody in a church with a shotgun, damn near point blank range, before he was killed himself. So I just think that we need to look at it in a different perspective, rather than people thinking it's ghetto to have metal detectors. Oh, I don't want to go here because gun.
Well, I heard they trying to pass a law where you can have a gun and you can just walk into anywhere. Like, you don't have to have a gun license no more. You can just get a gun nowadays and just do what you want to do with it, as long as you protecting yourself.
So let me ask you something, Trey. You think that's gonna work?
For that law?
Yeah, I mean, if everybody can carry.
They pretty much already did, right? Because you got felons out here still have guns and weapons and stuff. They still can get their hands on whatever they want to. So it don't matter if it works or not.
That's why.
Still gonna get a gun.
That's why when it comes down to when you say gun reform and things like that, it don't matter. Those people who make those type of decisions going to get their hands on the gun. There's plenty of ways to get your hand on the gun instead of having your gun license. Nah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can go buy a gun on the street right now today and go kill somebody next day with that gun they bought on the street. So it don't matter where the gun's coming from. It's like how they gonna stop the guns from coming. Stop people from getting these guns. They can't stop that. So it's gonna be the same thing as as life go on. There ain't really much gonna change about that, because you can't stop the guns from coming in.
I think I'm with Dominique, right? She said worst idea ever, right? I think I agree with that, right? Because people do things off emotion. You don't want to, you walking in the mall, you're not paying attention, you probably on your phone, you bump into somebody. Oh, hell nah. You don't scuffle my shoes. Now someone got shot because everyone's carrying a gun like the Wild Wild West.
Right.
Emotional. Men are even emotional, as emotional, right? So I don't think that having people and everybody being strapped with guns everywhere they go is the answer. I think that
right. I think that's what it is regardless, because most of the people who doing the killing with the guns are not the people with the license to have guns. Guns don't kill.
I agree with my cousin from Orlando down there in Atlanta, right? So soon we go out, him and his mama got guns, you feel me? His mom was older lady, you feel me? She like in her 50s. And she had her gun in the case in the car, like, this is mine right here. I ride everywhere with my gun.
Everybody that I know that concealed carries, and that's damn near every male figure in my family, nobody has those type of, everybody has that same respect for that gun. Now, when you look at the most people that come up these days, like me and you talked about once before, put the guns down, use your hands, handle your beef. But most people, when they get mad or peed off, what's the first thought they come to their head nowadays?
A gun.
I'm gonna kill this person. It ain't even gotta be a gun. They just want to kill you. The quickest and fastest way to do that is with a gun.
I mean, do you think that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, the gun violence, and I hate to even throw this out here, right? Music, as far as portraying violence and talking about it the way it does, make people feel like that's the way to handle business.
Yeah. It's the music comes from the culture. These young kids already have this idea in their mind. So that's why they rap about it. And the more they rap about it, the other kids that's listening to them, guess what they want to do? They want to be like him. They want to be hard. They want to be tough. They want to be gangster just like him. So now they want to shoot them up, bang, bang, too. Nobody want to fight no more like what we grew up on. You grew up on, you had any problems, y'all boxed it out. Then it went from boxing it out to the person that got beat up, go grab a gun. Now they want to shoot up the party. Then it go from that to now they don't want to fight no more. Now everybody want to shoot everybody.
This war is saying we lack accountability in society. So I mean, I think people know what they're doing. I just think it's more of an image. You know what I mean? Like back in the days when you got beat up, you know, people talked about you for a little bit, but you lived to see another day.
Right.
People don't want that I guess that stain on their resume in the streets, right? And that's why I
feel like people will fight still. They just after they get done fighting, say if you got beat up, now I'm finna go get my gun. I got beat up.
People ain't fighting no more.
The only way I see people fighting is if it's a group.
That's it. Or they got
one-on-ones. The only people that's doing one-on-ones is a real man or woman who caught up with whoever they caught up with and caught them slipping, and they made them shoot the fair one. That's the only way. But as far as setting it up, me and you, come on, let's go one-on-one. Hell no. How many videos you see the other person got to roll up on the other person? Because most of the time they scared. And that's why people get killed, because the scary ones is the ones who do all the shooting, bro.
Well, but let's look at it like this here too. Not just that, but also with these incidents is, you know, they're saying mental issues. You know, they said this guy had demons that he was dealing with. His ex-wife said that. His ex-wife also said he wasn't a nice person. So you talking about a person who's already, you know, went to jail several times, was able to get his hand on a shotgun, going to a church, kill somebody before his life was taken, was still able to get access to a gun, was known to have mental issues, and still able to get a gun. I mean, this whole thing that's going on right now, again, the government has to do a better job. Background searches, mental evaluations, laws and regulations have to be passed to protect the public, or I'm with Trey. We all should carry a gun.
No, what I say is, start holding the people around him, like his wife or ex-wife, hold them accountable. Because how not? They know he's dealing with demons. Wait, hold on, wait. Just wait. Listen to what I'm saying, okay? This is where the government and everybody, all of this, like Ms. Ward said, accountability comes in, okay? Somebody got to be accountable for this, right? Because this man could have got his gun passed down from his grandfather, right? Or he could have went to the store and still got a gun. But the people around him knew he was dealing with demons, right? They knew he was dealing with mental issues, right? So that's when you have to start stepping up as people and seeking out not help for them, but the authorities need to be let this know, hey, this person dealing with demons. Now they need to evaluate this person. Just like they put sex offenders on certain type of, they can't be around this. They need to have people that have mental issues. they don't need to be around guns, and they can't be around that stuff. There need to be a law, like you said, need to be a law in place for something like that. Accountability, where people have to be accountable for shit like this.
I'm with you, right? I think that if you do have mental issues, if you do have problems such as that, there should be laws and regulations for people to get help and also accountability. But where I don't agree with is that his ex-wife, she had nothing to do with this. I mean, you got to put that ex-wife and highlight that in bold letters, because she was done with him at one point. There's a good chance he was beating up on her.
But that's what I'm talking
You
about.
know how New York is, you can't even have weapons in here. They don't allow guns.
She knew he had demons he was dealing with. And that's when she should have let it be known to the authorities. And at that point, her accountability is taken away from her because she gave it to the higher ups. Now it's their turn to deal with the situation. Now they got to put that restraint on, or put that eye over him now. But that's what I'm saying when you say stuff like, oh, okay, his ex-wife said, yeah, he had demons he was dealing with. Everybody say this, but nobody really, made that known to, they didn't make it an issue.
I'm gonna ride with my girl Dominique on this one here. I mean, again, you can only go so far. The man had a criminal background. The man went to jail several times.
Okay, so now who's that on?
That's on the system itself.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Now, when you think about, when I say accountability for people that's next to you too, think about the shooting that happened out there in, at that festival. I think that was in Texas or somewhat. No,
Vegas.
Remember, was that in Las Vegas?
Yeah,
Las Vegas. When the dude was shooting at the hotel,
mm-hmm.
right? His wife knew about a lot of this shit too, of the mental side of things that was going on with him. She just continued to go on with life.
Yeah, I mean, every case is a case by case. I mean, I mean, even with that case in Las Vegas, I think that the wife even checked in with him at the hotel. So I think they were both working together. I mean, if we're gonna talk about that one, I think they both was working together, and they both, they both should be held accountable for that.
And I feel that's what I'm saying about. If I'm living with somebody that I know has mental issues, they going through all type of terrible problems, I want the authorities to know this, and I want them to be on watches. And once I do that, that's when I would say the state or the government or whatever, that's when they have to step up and do what they need to do.
I agree with that. You know what I mean? The state should step in, handle the business, but unfortunately, that's not the case.
But that's the only way.
When they lock people up like that, they send them to like a halfway out. They don't even go to prison or nothing like that. They get sent to a halfway out, and then 3 years later.
I wouldn't isolate them, because just like Dominique said too, Miss Dominique Ward, like she said, you can't predict if they're going to do something.
I mean, I'm telling you, Miss Ward is my friend right now, because she's making it easy for me. Like she said, there are millions of people suffering from mental illness and fighting demons who never commit these extreme acts. I agree. I think hell, we all suffer from something on the first of the month. We know that mortgages due. We know them light bills, cable bills. We all suffer from something. I mean, it's how you handle these situations, right? I mean, take a step back, breathe. You know what I mean? Like, life is not easy for nobody.
People, if you go to this extreme, there's no stepping back and breathing.
Well, no, that's for that extreme. But before you get to that point, reach out, talk to somebody, conversate with somebody, read a book, meditate, go running, go to the gym, work out. I mean, to go to these extremes and take lives.
If this person is not in the right mind, they had demons, right? Sort of say, right?
We all got demons, though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just say this, and that's an excuse that's being used, is the demons.
It is. It's an excuse.
So since he had his demons, and the demons was talking to him and telling him to go shoot up these people at this church, right? That's not somebody that's in their right mind. There's somebody that needs to be in the psych ward. They need to go get some real help and counseling done to them if you dealing with demons in that nature. Okay, you can't step back and breathe from them from that.
No, you can't. And just one sidebar, just to answer Miss Ward question. I agree. You can't. The question was, you want to add a target to a person based on poor mental health? No, you don't. But I think people with poor mental health need to go get help. But just to change the topic for a little bit, and we're still talking about gun violence. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about what's going on right here in the city that I'm in right now, Colorado, with the gun violence that happened these last couple of days. Gun violence. Man, we as a community got to get it together too. You know what I mean? So, just doing research, it shows that Black homicide rate is 4 times the national rate, right? And more than 6 times the homicide rate. So that tells me that every little chance that we're, our community get towards each other, we're pulling guns and killing each other at an alarming rate. Also I was doing some more digging and research, and I stepped upon like these numbers here, and these are a couple of states I want to highlight. Alabama, and these are gun violence percentage, right? Whites are 18%, 18.7%. As far as homicide activity in Alabama, blacks are 31.9%. Colorado 13.4, 15.5. Every state at some point, we're leading in gun violence.
Right. And
to me, that saddens me because I know we're better than that as a people, as a community. Like I said again, more than 85% of Black homicide victims are shot and killed with guns. Right? I mean, how do you think? How do you feel about those numbers that I just gave you?
I think they're gonna keep going up just because, it's a different generation right now. So kids not listening no more. Like, they doing what they want to do. They got their parents young themselves. Some people parents, they got 30-year-olds out here with like 15, 16-year-olds. So it's like they don't care what them kids doing. Like, they ain't worried about what they got running, none of that. They still young themselves. So they'll let them go out and do whatever they do. And if they getting beef with somebody, I'm pretty sure they know people that they can get their hands on the gun and they can go do something crazy with that gun just because they got access to it. Now I'm gonna go pick a gun up just because my homeboy told a girl or something, and then I don't like it. I don't want to shoot him now.
It's time.
I got beef with him.
And I'm with you, Trey, but it's time that we come together as a community, man. Like really pull these young kids out of it, and even these old heads out of it too, because like I said again, the research and the digging I've been doing and the percentage that we've been doing. I mean, yeah, we have a large group of Blacks that walk around saying Black Lives Matter, but shit, I hate to even sound like a white man, but do it really matter? I was gonna post a post on the Facebook about Gunna. They're making, they got an article about Gunna, the rapper. He was on a crime watch, speaking up on an individual who killed somebody in his community, and they were pretty much calling him a snitch. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, like, do we think that poor as far as the people that will rather protect a man on the streets who's killing and making us fear to live in our own community rather than the person doing the right thing?
That's why I was saying about the generation. Like, you got the kids out here now, these dudes are killing each other right now. Say if I was 16, 17 years old and I had beef with somebody, and then my homeboy had beef with him, my homeboy killed somebody, and I went to jail. They thought I killed him. You feel me? Now they looking at me as, you gonna snitch on me, or you gonna keep it solid and be real like I know you is, or you gonna go do that time for me or whatnot?
I ain't doing no time for you. I'm gonna tell you
exactly. I won't get that. People trying to go off what other people saying, like, oh, that's fake. He snitched on him. When he get out, I'm gonna kill this nigga, whatever, like that. Like, he gonna die when he touch the streets. Like, he done snitched on my homeboy.
Hold on, wait, me in a sense, a lot of the, like I said, gun violence that's going on, especially within the Black community, is people scared to fight. Point blank, period. Scared to fight. So that's where upping the gun and coming
Nobody
to
teaching them how to fight no more though. That's why they scared to fight. Nobody teaching nobody how to fight no more. So they're gonna have to take an ass whooping regardless. You either take the ass whooping or you're gonna kill me one.
Is it the fighting? Is it a lack of knowledge to know how to deal with
Like nobody doing no fight. Nobody teaching people how to fight. Like these people out here doing boxing and all that, they gonna know how to fight all their life because they box or they do karate or something.
generation is fighting. Majority of the time, the younger generation is fighting. They beef over something, and instead of going and fighting that person, they go right on his block and shoot at him. Okay, that's the younger generation.
I know that's what's happening, but there's many ways that I used to fight a lot too growing up. I still have the urge to slap the face out of somebody's mouth. I ain't even gonna lie. I grew up like that, so I still have those urges, right? But there's different ways you can assess the situation, approach the situation, or see the situation, right?
There's a lot of different ways, but that ain't that's not the mindset that they have now.
But what I'm saying is violence is not always the key to a solution, right? Because I might feel like I still want to slap people in the mouth when I'm irritated with them, but I know there's consequences behind my action, right?
Right.
So I'm ready before I react so that I can come home to my kids.
That's being mature though. That's maturity. So everybody don't have that. And you still have grown men that try to be just as young as these teenagers. They still screaming gang, gang. They still hanging on the block and still doing the same things as they was if they was a teenager. They still live that life.
I agree.
Like I was saying earlier with the with the mental health issue, right? The government, right? They spend hundreds of thousands of dollars monitoring non-violent offenders, right? Monitoring them, right? Probation, parole,
yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
That's that. But people with serious mental, nobody cares about. They let them just let it be whatever. Oh well, you know, if something happens, something happened. I think people need. That's what a lot of the resources need to go into things like that, where people can come up and check on that person and make sure that they day in their life is going on. Not put a target on them, but give them help. And that's what a lot of the community is missing, is some guidance, somebody that's there to give you maturity. When you come to me and say, man, these dudes over here just tried me, woo, woo, woo. I ain't gonna tell you, man, what you want to do. You want to ride on them? I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you, man, look, you gonna worry about them, or you go out and get your money, or you gonna go. I'm gonna tell you something different. You know, I'm not gonna lead you to go shoot them, but that's what majority of the wisdom that they're getting. You imagine coming to somebody that's my age, who's still on the block screaming gang, gang, and a little 14-year-old come to me trying to ask me for advice. What's my advice to him? Nothing but negativity and wrong.
Facts. And on that note, you know what I'm saying, we want to wrap it up. My closing statement is, if you got mental health issues, go get help, seek it. And you know, as far as our community, put the guns down. We need more leadership. We need more role models. We need more people to step up and speak for these kids and get them some help off the streets.
The grown man putting his.
That's a fact. My closing argument, like DJ Reloader said, if you got mental health, go get some help. You know, talk to somebody that's going to give you some positivity. And mental health doesn't mean you have a serious, crazy disease. It just means you need somebody to talk to help you through your problems. Okay. Right. So go get that help. And for family members that have mental health issues, don't give up on them. Stay there with them, help them out, seek help with them. Make sure they getting through. You check up on them, make sure they all right. Even if y'all not getting along, just make sure that try to some kind of way influence these situations to not happen. And when that being said, this has been the block. Peace.
All right.
Peace.